But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
2,000 years later.
You Somebody, I'm gonna have to let me screen record it. Somebody put this meme, this gif, and I said, wait, let me in. And somebody said, you already in the house, coon. Okay. I decided to watch one of Brandon Tatum's video, and it's called White Privilege My Ass. Yes. And I saw Amir Odom react to this video, and before I watched this video, I said, you know what, I want to do a reaction to the video too. And this video is 5 years old, so it's been a minute, okay? But if he likes it, he's also somebody who left a couple years ago. I'm like, okay, I should probably react to it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Oh God, okay. I cannot believe I cannot believe I'm making this video. Okay, so Brandon Tatum, white privilege, my ass. Here we go.
Ain't nobody give me money to say this. This is just a common sense person who realized, because I'm not racist and I don't categorize people and base my belief system on their race, because I do not do that, I get offended when people say stupid things about other people that's unjustified. I tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here, I had many friends on the police department that were white. Okay, so before we go there, let me tell y'all something. So since Brandon brought up police officers, y'all, I have to show y'all this. This is crazy. I have to show y'all this. This is crazy. On Twitter the other day, and yes, I pay for Twitter. Follow me, Emma the Story, okay? But there was this video of this black guy who was running from the cops, right? Now, obviously, if you're running from the cops, you're probably guilty of something. But for some reason, people were trying to convince me that maybe, I don't know, maybe he's not guilty. They've seen many videos of not guilty people running from the cops. Okay, that's fine. Sure, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So bottom line, there was this black guy who was running from the cops, right? And as he was running from the cops, he's all running in the street and stuff. And there was this other guy who got out of his car, black guy, got out of his car and helped the cops tackle the guy and put the guy on the ground and all this kind of stuff. Now, I think he was a police officer, but regardless though, he was off duty nonetheless, okay? It wasn't that obvious that he was a police officer. And so he tackles the guy, and this quote tweet was like, I know this nigga not helping the cops. So I went below the tweet and I'm looking at all the comments, a bunch of black people, and they all mad at the black guy helping the cops tackle another black guy, okay? So I said, how are y'all mad at him helping the cops catch a criminal? Black people are so interesting to me. People are so mean. So somebody said, how you black and don't utterly hate slave catchers is wild. So I responded, because that don't make no sense. I responded and I said, how are you black and don't utterly hate calling your own people slaves in 2023 as well? What did he think he was doing with that? First of all, I'm no slave. Why would you call our own people slaves and thought you was doing something? I don't understand. But regardless though, it showed me that it don't matter how much progress we make in America. If you are a cop, black people are just automatically going to hate you. And they're going to hate you because of the media. The media has really got us in a chokehold. And when I learned the simple fact that you have more of a chance of getting struck by lightning than a cop is to shoot an unarmed black man, my entire perspective on a lot changed, but especially on cops. And I'm just like, first of all, if you just follow the law, really, if you really just follow the law, you're going to be okay. But even in instances where things do get out of hand, it's not like this happens every day. But the media truly makes us seem like
It does. It truly makes it seem like it does. And it's the liberal media. But I will say now I have a new outlook on a lot of the stuff, and especially a new outlook on the media, which I should already known that the media was corrupt. Like, duh? I don't know. But especially when it comes down to this, because this is really, truly mainly what the Democrats have. If they do not have the racist narrative, then they're going to lose a lot of the black vote. Because I feel like a lot of black people truly are conservative. When it comes down to certain things. Not all things, but certain things. So let's continue.
Some of them had stories of overcoming adversity that I could not even begin to understand. They had situations, social, economic situations that they were in that blow my mind. As a black man in America, I have never dealt with some of the things that some of them had dealt with. Period. And so when I see people bring up this false narrative that all white people somehow have this privilege from birth, is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard.
And there was another video that I saw some drag queen talking about all white people are racist.
All white people are racist, period, point blank, end of story. You cannot be white and not racist. It's not possible, because if you are born in this country, in this America, I'm all white Americans. I don't live in Australia, but they racist too. If you, I've been in Australia, they are nasty. If you are white and you're raised in America, you are raised through TV, through books, through every single thing to have racial bias toward white people and against people of color.
And so when I see stuff like that, I start to realize, I'm like, oh, black people are racist, low key. And I'm not trying to say that there's not a white person who isn't racist, okay? Because people have tried to tell me that's what I've been trying to say this entire time, and I'm not trying to say that. On Twitter, they be getting on me. They're like, how could you say that? No white person. I never said that. I'm saying the simple idea that you're going to assume that a white person is racist just because they're white is racist in itself. But for some reason, it just don't click. It doesn't click.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
It is absolutely ridiculous. Take this for example.
Okay.
I was the spokesperson of the Tucson Police Department when I had maybe 2 years on the police department. You tell me, I have never in the history of the police department ever heard of anybody being a spokesperson with 2 years on the department. I'm in front of the camera. My name is behind things that I've said, and I've been on the police department for 30 minutes, pretty much. That's how we feel in the police realm. You on for 2 years, bro, you still a rookie. I ain't never heard a white person having that access to being a spokesperson of a police department that early. You tell me, you name a white police officer that can get on TV and say that they believe Black Lives Matter is ineffective. And I'll show you that same person that lose their job. Tell me what privilege that person has.
Oh, that's very true as well. If we're going to be completely honest, in 2023, black people and black and brown people, but especially black people, especially us, we are at the top of the social ladder in 2023. You can say whatever else you want, but that is 100% true. If a white police officer were to go on TV and say BLM is not effective, he would lose his job immediately. But a black person can say that any day of the week. If you go have a white person criticize any black person because of their actions, they would be labeled a racist automatically. It probably don't even have to do with their race, but they would just automatically be labeled a racist. You cannot talk about black people in 2023. You seriously cannot. If you're white, you cannot speak of a black person. Don't utter anything about a black person in 2023 if you're white. They're just going to automatically label you as a racist. And to me, what type of privilege is that?
And probably got one of the best deals possible on my house that I bought. I got it for a steal. I got the best deal probably in the whole community. I bought a house for $166 and it was worth $270 when it was built. The person who bought the house was a white person and they got jugged because I got a huge discount on that. Now, I bet they wondering how he get that deal. Somebody explain to me how I can name to you right now a whole bunch of white people that I know that are in debt through college, who have to pay to go to college. student loan debt. That's outrageous. I ain't got no student loan debt from my bachelor's degree.
Nice.
Not one. I was on full scholarship, and I know 70 other people who are on full scholarship in 100 and some different colleges. Probably 80% of them are black people. And you tell me that somehow white people have a privilege. I know I've heard hundreds of stories of people that I know tell me that they went to apply for a job, and because of affirmative action, that they were denied a job, that they were more qualified than the other person who got it, who was a minority.
And I've been seeing that on Twitter, that, and I believe it today, because we have diversity hires across the board. But even, especially with affirmative action, but it also seems just like, because companies want to seem more woke and they want to seem more inclusive and they don't want to have too many white people on, you know, on their panel in their jobs or whatever that may be, they will turn down somebody who's qualified and white because they're white, and they want to make sure that they have diversity, and they want to make sure they're all inclusive, and they have enough brown people to make them look better. They probably don't even care. They just want to make sure that they look good, because we are in woke 2023. If you ain't woke, what you doing? Apparently. But one thing is, woke culture does not include white people, but white people have all this privilege, right? It's crazy.
How your success in life is dependent upon you. It's dependent upon how much are you willing to put up with, how much are you willing to take into account, and how much you're willing to pursue your dreams and your goals. I don't want to hear you blatantly call people and say they have white privilege. That's like saying, and I will say this, and somebody wanted to criticize me about this, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's like me getting up here saying all black people are thugs.
I'm going to let him finish. But he's spitting. He's spitting right now. I'm going to let him finish, though.
You have a propensity to be a thug. And if police target you disproportionately, they're justified, because statistics show that you are more likely to be a thug than a white person per capita.
And see, this is what the black community seems like they fail to like acknowledge, or I know they know this. I know y'all know this. I'm speaking to y'all. I know y'all know this. You know what happens in our community. But then want to act like a white person who, knowing that statistically, like he said, per capita, that a black person is more likely to be a thug than a white person, and then they get mad when we are disproportionately sought out by the police. Well, statistically speaking, we are more likely to be thugs. And if you are a police officer who is doing their job, and because we make assumptions all day long. Let's not act like we don't make assumptions all day long, okay? So when that happens, black people are like,
oh, that's crazy, that's racist. How could you say that? How could you say that?
how could you group all black people as thugs, but y'all like to group all white people as racist? How is that any different?
Somebody tell me a statistic that's different than that. African American people in this country commit violent crimes disproportionately than any other race that we hear about. Any other race that lives in America. How do we make up 13% of the population and commit over half of the violent crimes in America?
And then majority of the black people who are committing said crimes are black men, which is even less than 13%. So that's even more unacceptable. You see what I'm saying?
Explain to me that. Ain't nobody putting a gun in your hand and making you commit crimes. Nobody forcing you to commit crimes. But we commit crimes. Now, people with common sense know that there's circumstances that lead this to being a fact. But just at face value, you can't say that. You can't sit up in a meeting and say, well, black people, most of y'all are probably going to be a criminal. You have criminal behaviors. I mean, black people go lose their mind. Right. Brain pop out the side of their head.
Veins all on the side.
Tell me how that's legitimate for you to say that. I'll give you another example. African American people get mad if you predict or you make the conclusion that black people like fried chicken. I'm gonna tell you this. I love fried chicken.
Okay, I'm gonna let him finish.
Chicken. My grandma make the bombest fried chicken I've ever tasted in my life.
They're gonna be so bad.
Grandma don't even use recipes. Grandma, don't. I asked Grandma, how do you season that chicken like that? Grandma be in the kitchen doing that, just sprinkling that chicken. Now, I dare you to tell a black person they love fried chicken. They get mauled. So how then is it okay for you to make a generalization about all white people because some white people have privilege? I mean, listen, I have privilege to a certain degree because I'm handsome. Name me a woman right now that is a lead anchor on a television show or a lead anchor on the news that you watch every day that billions and billions of dollars go into, that's ugly, that's obese. You can be a great journalist and you can have a better resume than a prettier person, man or woman. That person that look better than you, they're going to get more attention on TV and they're going to give them the job. So what are you going to say? Good looking privilege? Listen, if you got money, you got privilege. As a black man, if LeBron James got more privilege than every white person in America. People don't even know people can probably see Bill Gates and won't even know him from Adam. LeBron James. Let LeBron James go to a restaurant. You better hope you're not in line because you're going to go to the back.
That's true.
White man, I'm telling you right now, you're going to go to the back behind LeBron James. LeBron James can tell the restaurant that he want to take your seat. They'll probably make you get up, sir. Please, can you, LeBron James is in the house. Sorry. Tell me that there's a white person got more privilege than Barack Obama.
When black people scream white privilege, they forget about every single black celebrity there is in a heartbeat. They forget about LeBron James, Beyonce, Stephen Curry, all of them. They forget. I don't know why I just drew a blank of every black, A$AP Rocky, any black celebrity. They forget about all of them when they talk about white privilege in a heartbeat.
States of America. That man can go anywhere in the country right now, and that not one white person I know will have privilege over him. His kids. Tell me that those students that go to the university with his kids have more privilege than his kids do. You got to be out of your mind.
But Michelle Obama will still hit there and talk about white privilege. Let's talk about that. Because I got time. Well, I don't have all the time in the world, but I got a little bit of time to talk about that. Not all day. A little bit.
Wealth. There's a privilege in wealth. But y'all ain't talking about that. There's a privilege in everything. You can have the same amount of skill level as a person in basketball, and if you shorter than that person, you're not going to have the same opportunities. Let's keep it 100. Listen, for us to try to portray that in our society there's an epidemic of white privilege, then we have to say in our society there's an epidemic of good-looking people getting better opportunities. There's an epidemic of people that have more money getting opportunities. There's an epidemic of legacy. If your parents' last name is XYZ, you're gonna have more privilege. There ain't nobody in the world that's associated with Trump that's not gonna get. There's nobody in the world that's associated with Obama that's not gonna have privilege. All you have to do is say, I'm Obama's great niece. You on national TV. 100%. But people don't want to talk about that. But I tell you what, I'm going to talk about it.
He got time.
I'm going to keep it 100.
I only got a little bit, but he got time.
I'm sick of people saying that there's white privilege. In isolated situations, yes. Is there black privilege? Yes. In isolated situations, black people can get stuff that nobody else can get. Whether you taller than another person. In isolated situations, that is true. Whether you look better than somebody else. Whether you more presentable than somebody else. Isolated situations, that is true. Overall, that is not true. Just because you shorter than somebody don't mean that you are, that's an indictment on your life for the rest of your life. Just because you don't look as good as somebody don't mean that it is inevitable that you won't have great opportunities. I'll tell you a couple people on TV right now that don't look worth a dime. And they make more money than anybody else walking on planet Earth. It's not an indictment. See, what they do to you is they want you to believe this is true so they can pit you against somebody else. Period. See, conservatives don't play that game. We understand that we are all equal. We understand that there's privilege and there's exceptions in certain situations, but we don't sit here and paint the picture that our country is dedicated to those principles. But you know what? You know who does that? The Democrats do that. Liberals do that. They want you to believe that there's such thing as white privilege so they can pit the white people against the black people.
And they also do that because I really do feel like black people have gotten so comfortable of the victim complex. And if they don't have that, then they have to actually take responsibility of their wrongdoings, right? As long as they can scream white privilege as a black person, you can pin it all off on the white man. You don't have to take any responsibility, right? But the moment we get rid of that, now they have to be held accountable for the actions that they actually do and the reason why they're putting themselves in those situations, right?
They want you to believe that it's racist for us to secure our southern border because they want to pit the Mexicans against the white people. Bottom line, they want you to believe that who you sleep with at night makes you different than somebody else. They want to pit the gay people against the straight people. At the end of the day, because you gay, there's no indictment on you in America. You can do whatever you want to do. Everybody know who Milo is. Milo is one of the most popular people in America. Well, I don't say in America. We think he's popular. He's popular around the world. He's not even from America. He gay. Where's his indictment? Conservatives love him. How you gonna pit him against us? It ain't gonna happen. This is what I was saying. I'm gonna get off here. If you are the type of person that believes that there's white privilege in this country and you believe that there's an epidemic, that somehow black people don't have opportunities because of white people, you got to be a fool. You need to change the way you think. I'm done beating that dead horse. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all be good.
I mean, he had time. I'm done. I don't have any more time anymore. But y'all better fix it. I'm gonna pray for y'all. I got prayers. All right. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.